Man, I was just sitting here thinking. I'm on YouTube, and I'm on YouTube sometimes, back and forth here and there, and I'm looking at most of my brothers and sisters, and I'm sadly disappointed because I just see divide, this major division between black men and black women. And it's like this never ending cesspool cycle of just hate. Well, this person is doing this wrong, and that person is doing this wrong, and we don't love you anymore. You don't love us anymore. No one's protecting us, and it's your fault, and it's your fault, and this is your fault, this is your fault. I just honestly wish that we could, as a people, collectively agree that the reason why our community is a failure is because we have failed it as a collective. I know I'm going to get, backlash for it because everybody's going to say, well, I got a business and I'm doing this for myself and I got my own brand and I'm not, sleeping. I'm sleeping easy at night and this, that, and the other. Fine, you may be sleeping easy at night for today. But you better remember that your status is never protected when you're under a system that is carved out to put you at the bottom. So while we're all at the bottom, blaming each other for why we're at the bottom, how about we find the good in what it is that we have already, work with that, and then we move ourselves out of the bottom instead of trying to figure out, nitpicking about every little thing that is wrong with each other. Like this whole gender war stuff, it's got to stop. I just feel like the whole gender war is a spell and it needs to end if we are ever going to progress outside of the bottom. Because I don't care how much money you think you have or how much dollars you think you have in the bank or how many businesses you think that you have or, what kind of foreign men or foreign women you have. You are always going to be at the bottom if you don't figure out what is wrong with each other and fix it. It is time for us to fix the issue and running away from it. And everybody knows what I mean when I say running away. Blaming and blame shifting and, well, that's not my problem. You choosing bad mates this, or you weren't there for me when I was a kid or when I was in high school. No, okay, all of that, y'all cut it out. Because what it sounds like to me is there's a lot of hurt between black men and black women, and we are blaming each other for things that we necessarily had no control over in the past in terms of our ancestors and how we got here. We don't have control over that portion of history. It's time for us to necessarily create our own. Even though we're the descendants of those people, we have to create our own life. But we have to move forward and stop pointing fingers at each other all the time. And stop trying to run away. All you're doing is running in circles. All you're doing is running in circles. Because the heat that's coming right now to America, it's going to affect us all. It's not going to affect just one particular type of person. And it's going to affect us, black people, not black women or black men. It's going to affect us together. Why? Because we're collectively at the bottom. And there's not enough money that's going to save you. I don't care how smart you think you are, or how many figures you think you make, or how many degrees you think you hold, or how many businesses you think you have, again, and what kind of foreigners you're dating, and this, that, and the other. If you're at the bottom in this system, the plague is going to affect you equally. So grow up, get over yourselves, put on your big boy pants and your big woman panties. Figure out what we need to do collectively to help each other. Black men, that woman is an extension of you. When you look in the mirror, you see her. Black women, when you look in the mirror, you see an extension of yourself. You see that black man. Y'all are each other. Y'all are an extension of each other. Designated gender roles nonetheless, but divine gender roles nonetheless. But y'all are an extension of each other, and nature made you guys that way. Nature didn't make any mistake when he made you guys the extension of each other. So when you try to call yourselves trying to act like polar like you guys are, so much the same, you're trying to create this friction. And I realize that there's help from outsiders, from foreigners who see what time it is, and so they're trying to make sure that they create divide and keep the divide going. They see the fire that's been created, and now they're helping to add more fire to it. Do not be deceived at what time it is for black people in this country. In this country, I know the effects of hardship is hitting, every nation across the earth, but I'm talking about specifically my people here in America, because the way that we are treating each other and the way that it's visually being displayed on social media is disgusting. We gotta do better, man. We got to do better. Whatever personal opinions that you guys have, if it's going to do more harm than any good, keep them to yourself. If it's not about building each other up, keep it to yourself. I would never get on a public platform and voice my opinion about my brother or sister. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. Granted, other nations do it. Don't be a follower. We got to learn how to handle our differences in private, because our differences are between us and not anybody else. And when other people see you slander, it's even more disgusting that we slander each other on these public platforms that are owned and operated by foreigners. We don't even own the platforms that we are slandering each other on. That's even more disgusting. And we think this is cute. I'm more even surprised at the men, because I know we're supposed to be leaders. And it's even more disgusting for the women, because she represents a government within our community, and the men is supposed to lead her. But if the men aren't leading, there's no government. There's just plain chaos. They work hand in hand. We can't have one without the other. I don't care how bad this white nation is. They have their wickedness together. And they're making sure they work overtime to make sure that you don't have it together. We got to do better. All this hate between the black man and black woman, y'all cut it out. Grow up. Grow up.